I felt both scared and relieved. My body hurt, my heart felt broken, but deep down, I knew things had to change. I couldn't stay quiet anymore. The nurse leaned over me, her voice soft but worried. "Are you okay?" she asked while checking my injuries. Tears rolled down my face as I gave a small nod. "Please, just keep him away from me," I whispered. The next few days were some of the hardest I've ever lived through. My parents, Claire and Peter, stepped in right away. They made sure I was never alone. They took care of Zoe, talked to the hospital staff, and pushed me to report what Liam had done. Their constant support helped me feel less alone in the chaos. As my body slowly healed, my mind was still full of pain. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Liam standing over me, angry, with his fists raised. It felt like I was stuck in a nightmare I couldn't get away from. But I knew I had to act, not just for me, but for Zoe too. I started working with a lawyer named Ava. She was sharp, kind, and truly listened. In our first meeting, I told her everything: the emotional abuse, how he controlled our money, and the way he attacked me in the hospital. Ava listened closely and then said, "You've been through enough. Mia, it's time to fight back." Her words gave me strength. With her help, I started collecting proof: statements from the nurse, hospital security footage, and pictures of my injuries. My parents helped gather papers showing how Liam had been careless with money and never supported our family. For the first time in years, I felt hopeful. I wasn't just trying to survive anymore, I was ready to take my life back. Ava and I built a strong case. Every piece of evidence showed the truth about Liam's abuse. The nurse and security guard shared powerful stories about what they saw. The hospital footage clearly showed Liam attacking me in my bed. My medical records showed not just the accident injuries, but also the bruises from his fists. Liam didn't give up easily. He left voicemails, some pretending to apologize, others full of threats. "You're ruining my life, Mia," he growled in one message. "You won't win." Ava told me not to respond. "Don't talk to him. Let the facts speak for you," she said. As the court date came closer, I focused on healing. Physical therapy was hard, but each small win, like standing or taking a step, reminded me I was getting stronger. Zoe's happy laughter and my parents' love gave me the strength to keep going. I wasn't just preparing for court, I was rebuilding my life. The day of the hearing finally came. I felt nervous, but also ready. I wore something simple, but strong, and walked into the courtroom with Ava beside me. My parents sat behind us, their smiles comforting. Zoe stayed at home with a babysitter. She was too young to understand what was happening. Liam was already there, sitting at the defense table. He looked nervous and wouldn't look at me. His lawyer was whispering frantically in his ear. Ava started the case by telling the judge everything that happened, especially the attack in the hospital. The nurse and security guard both spoke about what they saw. Their words were clear and powerful. No one could doubt them. Then Ava showed the medical records and pictures of my bruises. The courtroom went silent. It was obvious how badly Liam had hurt me. Liam's lawyer tried to make the attack seem small, calling it a moment of frustration and saying Liam had already apologized. But Ava didn't let that slide. "This wasn't one moment," she said. "This was years of abuse and pain. Mia deserves justice." When Liam took the stand, he tried to blame me. "She's making it sound worse than it was," he said nervously. "I did everything for our family. She's the one trying to ruin me." Ava didn't hold back during her questions. She caught him in his lies and made him admit he failed as a husband and father. He started to fall apart, struggling to explain himself as she calmly tore his story apart. When it was over, it was clear that his defense had fallen apart. The truth had come out. After hours of waiting, the judge gave the final decision. Liam was guilty of assault and abuse. He was sentenced to 18 months in prison and had to pay fines, including money to cover my medical bills and the pain he caused. When the judge banged the gavel, I felt a huge weight lift from my chest. Justice had been done. The weeks after the trial were full of change. With Liam gone, I could finally focus on healing. My parents helped me find a small, peaceful apartment for me and Zoe. It wasn't fancy, but it felt like home. Every piece of furniture, every photo on the wall, was a sign of our new beginning. Our home was filled with laughter and love, not fear and silence. I wanted to give Zoe the best life possible. One night, I was scrolling online and had an idea. What if I told my story? Not just the pain, but the strength it took to move forward. With my parents cheering me on, I started a YouTube channel. My first videos were simple, honest stories about what I had been through, leaving an abusive marriage, standing up in court, and starting over. I hoped it might help someone out there who felt stuck like I once did. To my surprise, people responded right away. They left kind comments, shared their own stories, and thanked me for speaking out. My channel grew, and so did my confidence. Soon, I was earning money from it, more than I expected. For the first time in a long time, I felt truly free. I saved money for Zoe's future, planned little trips for us, and made my own choices without fear. Our apartment became a safe and happy place. Every night, as Zoe and I cooked dinner or watched cartoons, I felt full of hope. I was no longer the broken woman Liam tried to control. I was stronger, wiser, and finally happy. With Zoe by my side, I knew we had a beautiful future ahead. The room felt tight, like there was no air left to breathe, as Liam's anger filled the space. His fists were clenched, and his face twisted with rage. "You think you can mess with me, Mia?" he snapped, his voice full of hate. Before I could even speak, he rushed at me. His fist hit my stomach hard, and I doubled over in pain. I couldn't breathe. I held my sides, trapped in the hospital bed and completely helpless. Fear took over me. I heard fast footsteps outside the door and hoped maybe this nightmare was finally about to end, or maybe I was about to lose everything I had left. My name is Mia. I'm 41 years old, a stay-at-home mom, and I have a 7-year-old daughter named Zoe. To outsiders, my life probably looked perfect. I was married to Liam, a man who once promised to love me forever. But that was just an illusion. When we first met at a friend's barbecue, Liam seemed perfect. Charming, confident, romantic. He made me feel special. Within a year, we were engaged. I left my job as a graphic designer to stay home and raise our family, just like Liam wanted. At first, I thought I made the right choice. Liam brought me flowers, planned special dinners, and talked about a bright future. I believed his love was real. But everything changed once we got married. His kindness faded. The sweet words turned into harsh criticism. I couldn't do anything right in his eyes. "Why isn't Zoe ready for bed?" he would yell. "What do you even do all day?" His words hurt more than I let on. I tried to explain myself, but he wouldn't listen. "You're just making excuses," he'd say. "You have one job, why can't you handle it?" No matter how hard I tried to keep the house clean or cook meals he liked, he always found something to complain about. "You missed a spot on the counter," he'd snap. "Do I have to do everything?" Liam also kept losing jobs, blaming others every time. When he got fired or quit, it was never his fault. Somehow, it always became my fault too. "You're supposed to make life easier for me," he said once. "Instead, you just make things worse." It felt like I had 2 kids, Zoe and Liam. I did my best to protect Zoe and give her a happy childhood, but Liam's temper made that hard. He yelled at her for little things, leaving toys out, speaking too loudly. "Don't talk to her like that," I would say, trying to stand up for her. He'd glare at me. "If you disciplined her, I wouldn't have to." I stopped arguing. It only made things worse. I poured everything into Zoe, hoping that maybe, someday, things would get better. One Tuesday evening, everything changed. I had just come back from grocery shopping. My mind was full of tasks, making dinner, checking Zoe's homework, cleaning the kitchen. Pain exploded through my body. I gasped for air, clutching my ribs, too weak to fight back. Just then, the door burst open. A nurse and a security guard rushed in. "What's going on in here?" the nurse asked, stepping between me and Liam.
"She provoked me," Liam shouted. "She's trying to ruin my life."
The security guard didn't wait. "Step back, now," he ordered, grabbing Liam's arm. Liam tried to resist, but the guard held firm. "You're leaving now," the guard said. Liam turned to me one last time, his eyes full of hate. "You'll regret this, Mia," he growled. "This isn't over." Then he was gone. I lay there, bruised and broken, but not defeated. Not this time.